For all its delights, the month of April also has a dark side. It's been called the most dangerous month of the year because for whatever reason, a lot of big and historic crimes have happened on this page of the calendar. And this week in particular, we got the Lincoln assassination, the Columbine school shootings, the Waco siege, and on this date in 2013, the Boston bombing. Now, I'm sure you remember. Brothers Tamerlan and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev planted 2 homemade bombs near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. The blast killed 3 people, wounded hundreds more, including a dozen who lost limbs. Here's a look back at how our friends at the Associated Press covered the attack and the hunt for the suspects.
Police converged on a neighborhood just west of Boston hours after a police officer was shot and killed on the campus of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. A state police spokesman said the incident in Watertown involved what was thought to be explosive devices, likely used against police officers. No arrests had been made in the officer's fatal shooting, and a manhunt was on for the shooter. Hours earlier, the FBI released photos and video of 2 suspects in Monday's bombings at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. They depict a young man in a dark cap, another in a white cap worn backward, both wearing backpacks, one walking behind the other on the sidewalk near the finish line as marathoners run by. The FBI agent in charge described them as armed and extremely dangerous and urged anyone who sees them to contact authorities.
I actually heard a lot more than what I saw because I was over on Belmont, which is a street parallel to this, and you could hear what sounded like it definitely sounded like it was a shootout / chase. Cops were coming from this direction towards Watertown from Cambridge, and definitely heard a few explosions.
It's an ongoing investigation. We can't get into details on the descriptions of the suspects or the names. We're trying to get information out to the people who live here that they should stay in their homes and not open their doors unless police officers are there. There's a 20-block perimeter around the location that Chief DeVoe just talked about. We are concerned about securing that area and making sure that this individual is taken into custody. We believe this to be a terrorist. We believe this to be a man who's come here to kill people. We need to get him in custody.
Prosecutors have what many people consider to be a treasure trove of evidence against Mr. Tsarnaev. They have hand-scrawled writings inside the boat he was captured in which he condemns the U.S. for its wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and basically indicates that this attack was retaliation for those actions. Prosecutors also have a surveillance video from the scene of the bombing, which they claim shows Mr. Tsarnaev putting down a backpack near the family of 8-year-old Martin Richard, who was killed in the explosion. The defense strategy seems to be, from everything they've said in court and in court papers, to blame the older brother, to say that Mr. Tsarnaev was under the control of his brother, he adored him, he admired him, and he basically went along with whatever his brother told him to do. The big question in this case is, will they give this young man the death penalty?
The older brother, Tamerlan Tsarnaev, was killed after being confronted by the police. In May of 2015, the jury sentenced his younger brother, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, to death by lethal injection. He's currently being held at the Supermax prison in Florence, Colorado, the so-called Alcatraz of the Rockies. And by the way, just on a personal note, I remember back in 2013, I was working at my law firm, this is before I even got into the news business, following the search for these suspects minute by minute. It's when I developed my fascination with true crime, that sense of wanting justice, needing answers. For me, this was the case that started it all.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.